Hey there, you're watching Alexa. If you're new, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my 2020 no-buy recap along with my 2021 rules. I've decided to combine them because... Hold on. I've decided to combine them because it'll just make sense. It'll make sense. So in the beginning of 2020, I actually had pre-filmed this no-buy video for 2020, the no-buy rules video. Less than 2 weeks later, or less than 2 weeks into January, I had been dumped. And I was in a bad place. Like, I had been doing a fruitless job search for months, and just to like kind of let you know what my mind frame was like in that point in time, I've just been really lucky at work in most of my life. Like, most of my life jobs have just kind of dropped into my lap, but this had been the longest job drought that I've ever had in a search ever. Imagine getting dumped in that. It really sucked. So I had pre-filmed that video, and then when we split, I decided to refilm it a couple of weeks later once I had gotten my shit together a bit. And I had realized then that, oh wow, there are a lot of things that would have been so much more difficult had I still been in that relationship. You know, it ended up working out for me in the end. I decided that I would spend $0 on beauty, and that's exactly what I did. I spent $0. I want to continue on that. I purchased a few razor blades for my razor sticks because I shave my legs. I also sugar wax now too, but I need both. You know, I like to have a variety of hair removal methods. I'm a hairy girl, so I need it. I spent $86 on one haircut visit. I had also this idea that I was not going to spend very much money on clothes except for whatever I needed for job interviews or whatever I would need to have a semi-business cash wardrobe, like capsule wardrobe, so that if I went back into the job force, I had things to wear. Joke's on me. I didn't need any of the things that I bought in January, except I wore them to a couple of interviews to jobs I obviously didn't get. But that's okay. Those are things that I will find use for. So I spent a total of about $391 on clothing for the entirety of the year. That would include a pair of jeans I bought in the fall, some blush lingerie underwear. I needed to buy cotton underwear. So it wasn't lingerie, it was a bunch of underwear that I wear on a daily basis because I decluttered other underwear. Why am I talking so much about underwear? Yeah, I also bought a dress at Winners. I kind of lumped all of my Winners purchases into the clothing category, even though I believe I bought earbuds and maybe PB2 or something like that at Winners. So yeah, anyways, a total of $391. If I divide that number by 10, as if it were 10 articles, then it would be 39 bucks a piece. I think this year I'd like to have that number be 300 or 350 max. I'm still in the market for possibly getting a sports bra. I didn't buy any bras this year at all. I might reward myself with an Eva Mihalak set, but I'm not really sure yet. I'm not really itching to purchase in that category, which is why I haven't updated my bra channel that much this year at all, because I didn't buy anything. Beauty will still be $0, and I'd perhaps go to the hairdressers once this year so I can get my hair fixed up. Like, I'm going to trim this at home because this is wild right now, and I think I'll probably go to the hairdressers a little bit before or after my birthday just to kind of freshen up my do in April-May time. As for coffee, I maybe went to coffee like 4 or 5 times this year. 2 of those times might have been dates, and the rest of that would have been with friends. So that really wasn't even a thing, and it's not really a category that I'm going to carry on. That expense, I actually just dumped it in my eating out expense category. So for fitness, I had said that I wanted to try a new activity every month like do a new fitness class every month, and I was going to budget for it, or I was just going to spend the money on my fitness because I really, really wanted to get more fit. And this year, what I did was I took a promotional yoga special at a studio close to my place that closed down because of lockdown. I paid $26 for unlimited yoga for the month. It wasn't hot yoga or anything. It was just a studio down the street. It was perfect. And I definitely needed that. Mid-January to mid-February, I was doing yoga almost daily, and it helped me a lot, I think, to keep my mind clear, especially with the emotional turmoil of a breakup alongside a very lackluster, fruitless job hunt. I needed some like peace of mind. It was hard. It was really hard, but it was also not so bad at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I spent that $26 on yoga. I went to a free session of kickboxing with a friend of mine, and so that was free. I got to try that in February, and then after, in March, there was lockdown right before we tried a HIIT studio. So oops. We actually both bought dumbbells in October time. So I spent $50 on two 10-pound dumbbells. And speaking of which, I went ahead and tracked all the days that I worked out this year, and except for the kickboxing class and whatever I did before April, I worked out a total of 91 or 92 days in the entire year, which is more than I can say for a lot of years in my life, and I intend to continue that. I have different fitness goals this year. If you guys want a video about that, I can try, but I'm not a fitness expert whatsoever, so just throwing that out there. I do want to focus on fitness this year a lot. For entertainment, I went to one concert. I went to go see Metronomy at the end of January, and I'm so happy I did, because after that there were no concerts, and that's something I really miss. I don't like concerts at big stadiums or big venues. I like the small ones. I don't like, Jazz Fest or Osheaga. Osheaga is like a knockoff Coachella for Montreal Canadians. It's whatever. To not have that this year was kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it did help me save a lot of money, because at those kind of shows, you typically get a couple of drinks, you pay to get transport there, you maybe Uber back home or take public transport back home, and yeah, the mess of it all, right? So in a way, 2020 kind of worked out in my favor in that category, and I didn't spend that much. I did spend about $55 on Netflix though, but again, I don't mind. Both mom and I watch Netflix together, and it's kind of turned into like a bonding experience. We rewatched Stranger Things. We watched a bunch of stuff. So that was great, and I intend on actually cutting Netflix out for the summer, or as soon as it gets warm enough to do more outdoor things. I'd like to buy a bike, but that's a separate subject. I might look around on Facebook Marketplace, see if I can find something secondhand that I could use over the summer. For tech, I didn't buy anything. I still need a monopod for my ring light, and I probably should buy it this year because I intend on filming more, but we'll see how the year goes. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I went through a breakup, and prior to that breakup, I had thought, oh, I'm not gonna spend any money at bars. We're just gonna drink at home and mix cocktails at home. I only wanna eat out once a month, and that more or less happened, sort of, but not really, because the spending was very sporadic. I spent a lot more in the summer on alcohol and bars because they opened very briefly, and I went to a couple of them, and there were maybe like 3 bingey nights, and then that's it. Anyways, look, total I have down here for eating out is $256 for the entirety of the year, and bars amounted to $238. So that is a total of just under $500. I'd like that to be down to $200 per category, or maybe $400 together if I lump summed them. I think that's more than enough, and we'll see, because I don't know. I intend to be a little bit more lenient in the summertime, but this winter, I'm not doing anything. I'm fully doing a lockdown for myself. For travel, I did none. There was actually a bachelorette party I got invited to that got postponed because of lockdown and because of everything that was going on. And then they decided to reinstate, or reschedule rather, that bachelorette party, and it ended up being something like everyone pitch in for a chalet and drinks. It was not in my budget. I thought, maybe I'll catch up on a one-on-one basis rather than spending more than I can right now on something like that. So I opted out. So for me right now, obviously my biggest priority is paying down my debt. I have a credit card debt and a student loan debt. My student loan debt has really low interest because Canada just works that way. And they also did a sort of pandemic relief, so that helped me out. But in total, because I hadn't been working and my main source of income is YouTube AdSense, affiliate links, and sponsorship deals, of which I didn't get that many, but I did get a couple, thankfully, I was able to pay down $1,500. So $1,529 with 9 cents got paid down. My debt is almost below $11,000, in case you guys are curious. That's in credit debt. I would like to, this year, after verifying my expenses and everything, see if I can change my bank plan to something a little bit more affordable. I don't even really know what I'm paying for, so I need to call the bank. I want to reduce the hosting expense that I have for my blog, because I'm actually contemplating taking down my blog. I want to keep Alexa likes. I want to keep my email address. I don't foresee myself updating my blog. I barely did anything on there in the last year, and it's absolutely absurd that I'm paying about $30 a month for hosting. I don't know. It amounted to $331, and that just makes no sense to me right now. I'm not even updating it, and I don't really feel like this emotional attachment to it either, because when I changed my URL, it kind of messed up all of my photos, and it just kind of rendered my blog a bit useless. I think that I want to keep the URL and see if I want to do something with it in the future, because it's nice that I have alexalikes.com, but apart from that, I don't care. So I just want to recap everything. I want to change my bank plan, reduce my hosting, but keep my URL for my blog. Just the URL, not the actual blog. I want a $300 cap on clothing, $300 to $400 cap on bars and restaurants. I still need a monopod for my ring light, and I want to continue paying down my credit. I mean, if things open up, I'll do a check-in and see if there's other things I want to spend on, but for right now, I just can't even anticipate what's going to happen by the end of the year. So we'll see. The world is my oyster. There's so many possibilities. I'm really excited though. I'm so happy to be finding joy in things that are not spending related. It's been really fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for all of your supportive comments. I'm really touched. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's in this kind of situation. And yeah, I hope you guys have an excellent new year. And yeah, it's still okay for me to say Happy New Year at January 4th, right? Yeah. All right. See you guys in my next video. Bye.